Um, hey, so this video, by the title, you've probably seen. I'm gonna rank all the One Piece sagas because I recently caught up with it and it's become one of my favorite anime. Um, yeah, I'm not ranking the arcs because that's just too much stuff, and I don't remember a lot before Enies Lobby because I watched that like a while ago, and then Enies Lobby, that's why I started reading it. So I read the manga for most of it, but I'm not gonna count Egghead, and like I said, I'm going by sagas, not arcs. Um, I'm not gonna count Egghead, so I'll just go get started with the video. On number 9, I have Fishman Island. I think it's the worst saga in One Piece, kind of by far. This arc isn't very interesting. Like the parts, some parts were cool. They talked about ancient weapons, talked about Joy Boy, talked about Jinbei's backstory, but the fights are boring. There's no development for any of the Straw Hats. Sanji was super annoying in this arc. Yeah, the villains were annoying. The princess was annoying. It's just boring. Like I skipped like most of the second half of this arc. That's how boring it was. And I didn't do that. I made it all the way through the Foxy Pirates arc, which is better than the Foxy Pirates arc, but it's not. I think it's still one of the worst arcs. I'm sorry. I know some people like it. I don't get it. All right. Number 8, if you're ranking every side, is Thriller Bark. There's some good stuff. This arc, like, I thought the fight against Oars was cool. The fight against Gecko Moria was kind of boring though. A lot of this arc was just boring. It's kind of filler. It gets brought back to be a little important in Wano, but like, that's only for a little bit. So I don't know. You could skip this arc basically. It's just not a lot. It's just not that great. No, that's not necessarily true. It's more important than I'm giving it credit for right now. But stories, there's nothing that interesting. All it did was introduce Brooke. Like it's just not that great. It's the same thing. The fights were kind of cool, but there's no development for any of the Straw Hats. Yeah, that's why I got Thriller Bark at 8. Alright, number 7, I have the first saga, which is the East Blue Saga. I mean, it makes sense that the opening saga is not going to be one of the best ones. Yeah, like the story is pretty basic at this point. There are only 3 Straw. There are 3 Straw Hats until they're 5. I don't know why I said there are 3, but yeah, I think the best arc in this saga is probably Arlong Park. That's definitely the high point, but it's kind of just decent. Like the story wasn't that basic. The story gets a lot better. The fights get a lot better the farther you go into the series. So yeah, that's kind of where I got East Blue at 7. It's not bad, but it's not peak of One Piece yet. Number 6, I have Skypia. Now, a lot of people, this is kind of usually referred to as the worst arc, which I don't get. The fight at the end is pretty cool, and now I think is one of the better villains. I think this is kind of the series peak comedy-wise. It's not that bad of an arc. It's really not. I mean, everyone will complain about if Luffy got stuck in a cave for like 30 episodes, which is fair, but like, I didn't think Skypia was that bad. It was fine. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, Skypia was better than fine. Skypia was cool. Like I said, peak comedy-wise, the fights are pretty good. You get some development for the Straw Hats, I guess. I don't know, but I enjoyed Skypia. That's why it's at number 6. Number 5, I have Alabasta. So, a lot of things happen in this arc. You get introduced to Warlords. You get introduced to Ace. Crocodile's a great villain. The fights against Crocodile were cool. You get introduced to Chopper in this arc. I mean, Saga. Who cares? You know what I mean. Yeah, it's great. So that's why I got Alabasta at number 8. Why did I say 8? It's 5. I am struggling to stay on pace for some reason. But yeah, Alabasta's number 5. Okay, you get introduced to Robin. I should mention that too. Number 4, I have Dressrosa. So now we're getting into the arcs that I really think are like the best arcs. So Dressrosa was a little long. I admit that. But Doflamingo, I think, is the best villain. All the fights are pretty cool. I don't quite understand why everyone loves Law. I just thought he was okay. But I mean, everyone loves Law. There's that. The only thing that's really... I just have nothing bad to say about Dressrosa. It's one of the more interesting arcs. So a lot of stuff happens in it. It handles the fact that there's like a million subplots very well. Yeah. I just don't really understand why people... I know Dressrosa was hit at the time. The only thing that really keeps Dressrosa from being higher is that I thought Punk Hazard was boring. Like, yeah, it had to set up Wano, it had to set up Dressrosa, but it was just boring. It wasn't very interesting. The only cool part was seeing Law for the first time, and when he mentioned that they had a plan to defeat Kaido. But that ended up not, the plan ended up not happening either way. But either way, Dressrosa is a great arc. So yeah. At number 3, I have kind of the Four Emperors saga, is what I'm calling it, which is Zou through Wano. Now, Zou is kind of the weak point, but that's kind of because it's the exposition arc, it sets stuff up. But Whole Cake is very good. Big Mom, I don't really understand why people think she's annoying, but like Sanji has great development in Whole Cake. The fights are great in Whole Cake. Whole Cake has like a cool story. See, the Katakuri fight was great. Yeah, Whole Cake's great. So I've heard some mixed opinions on Wano in general. I know some people think it's like the best arc in the series. Some people like it's way too long. I don't think it's the best arc in the series, but I think it's very up there. Like, yeah, the first third is like is maybe a bit long, but like the last third of Wano, the last like 2/3 of Wano are basically just Marineford, but like different people. They're just as cannot hate Wano, I don't think. So yeah, I think Wano is just as good as one of the best arcs in the series, and it helps out the Four Emperor Saga. So that's why I have the Four Emperor Saga at number 3. Alright, number 2, I have the Water 7 Saga, which is Water 7 in East Lobby. I feel like everyone knows this is one of the best arcs in the series, because you have like massive character development for both Usopp, Robin, and Frankie. Frankie joins it too. All of the fights are really good. Luffy versus Lucci is still arguably the best fight in the series. Yeah, there's just like nothing wrong with these arcs. Luffy versus Usopp is also one of the best arcs in the series, and best fights, not one of the best arcs. There's nothing wrong with this arc. It's just barely not the best. But one of my friends thinks it's the best, but I don't think it is. Yeah, I do not have it at number 1. But yeah, this arc is great. Number 1, you might have seen this coming. I have the Summit War Saga, which is from Sapati Archipelago to Marineford. This is obvious. Depending on who you ask, Marineford is the greatest anime arc of all time. Like, Shonen Showdown says that. Personally, I don't have it at number 1. I'd probably put it in the top 10, though. Even so, there's so many great arcs. Impel Down, you get introduced to Haki. Like, Amazon Lily is the weak point of this arc, but it's still interesting. Amazon Lily is still a good arc. You get introduced to Haki. It introduces the Celestial Dragons. This does everything important. Like, obviously the best parts are Marineford, because so much stuff happens in it. Yeah. So that's why I got Summit War number 1 as some of the best. Marineford, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty obvious, pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, I have no problems with this arc. Marineford is amazing. So yeah, that's why I have so the Summit War number 1 as the greatest One Piece saga. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'm kind of out of ideas for content too, other than the top 25, which I've mentioned before. Which, like I said, I'm like 5 episodes away from finishing Evangelion. So I should probably watch the movie. So like soon, that video will be out. I know, I'm not. I delayed it by like 2 months, or not by 2 months, by like a few weeks, but it's gonna be out eventually. If there's anything else you want me to talk about on this, I'm open to ideas. You want me to talk about like some movies I've seen recently, I can review them. Yeah, I don't know. Just let me know in the comments if there's anything you want me to talk about. I'll figure it out. Alright, that's it for this video though. Bye.